Aha! We're live. I found the right buttons. I got all the links to work. I hit all the levers. This thing is finally operational. Thank you for waiting, everybody.
Now you can take over the world.
Now you
Hell
can
yeah.
take
The 6
over the
people that are
world.
watching.
That's enough.
Yeah.
That's enough to get your foot in the door.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
It's a start.
I think I only have 6 subscribers to my channel. I mean, I'm happy with that.
You're running at 100% then.
Well, then I'll have to find your channel and subscribe so you can get 7.
There we go.
Just look for Terrasyn.
All right,
TerraSynn.
I'll catch the link a little bit later and come across and take a look at your stuff.
Woohoo!
Hell yeah. Man, so you guys were saying that there's this magical thing out there called women, and they play hockey, and they're really good at it.
Well, the Swedish women's team are really good at it, yeah.
Oh.
So
Well,
are
Mr. B, I don't play hockey, but I'll beat you with the stick if you want.
That might be something we can work out.
Oh, man.
I can use your testicles as pucks.
Ooh, that might be a little bit much.
Well, don't smack him into the crossbar.
It's a little bit more foul play than I'd like, but I like your enthusiasm, Harley.
Speaking of enthusiasm, I would say that the bout this morning between Sweden and the unified Korean women's team
was a shellacking.
It's about as lopsided as you see. They ended up with a score of 8-0. Team Sweden, if anything, I would say they held back. Is that could have just as easily been 20-0, describing the way you described the first period. Yeah, there are teams that are generally very experienced, and then there's teams that are generally inexperienced. When you think of Korea, you don't really think of ice hockey. I'm sure that they play ice hockey, but it doesn't really stand out as their forte. Now you think of a team like Sweden. Yeah, they have they have a history. They have a pedigree of like multi-generational pedigree of ice hockey. So that's as big a contrast as you can possibly get, as far as a team that you would expect to do well and a team that you don't generally expect is going to make much of a showing. And yeah, absolutely correct on this one. I would have been surprised if things were different, but Sweden is Sweden. It doesn't matter if the men or the women are playing. You're gonna have a tough time.
Well, I did see some nearly magical plays by the Korean team. They had some lucky attempts. I was hoping they'd at least get one goal.
Yeah. I'm sure most people thought the same, but it would almost be like the Swedish goalie just like stepping inside. Hey, I'll just give you a freebie and all that, but that would have been disrespectful. Yeah. Even though it's kind of funny seeing some of those North Korean players, taking a good beating. It's as far as like sportsmanship goes, it's kind of sucks seeing them not get a single one in. But they're playing fucking Team Sweden. Well,
6. Don't get too far ahead of yourself. Team Sweden is only ranked 6th in the world for the women's.
Oh,
true. Yeah, true. Yeah, if it was the Canadians, damn.
Yeah,
that would have been like a kindergartner trying to sprint through a brick wall.
U.S., Canada, Russia, Norway. They're all ranked higher.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know, the Koreans showed up. They played the game. You know, for sportsmanship sake, that's you know,
That's
they
huge.
did it. They did
Yep.
it. They did it. You know, and we got to respect them for that.
Yep.
And speaking of men's hockey, particularly the National Hockey League, it appears as though Irving Twins' not favorite Toronto Maple Leafs have defeated Florida, man. They have taken out the Tampa Bay Lightning 4-3. The other Florida team, however, is currently tied with Edmonton 3-3 in the second period with 9:23 left to go. And unfortunately, it looks like Burnside, your Chicago Blackhawks, are taking a bit of a beating right now from Arizona 4-1 with 4:55 left in the second period. This, of course, was the NHL break brought to you by the next 6 minutes.
Wait a minute. When did Arizona get a team?
They used to be the Phoenix Coyotes, and before that, they were the Winnipeg Jets, the original Winnipeg Jets.
Okay.
Winnipeg has since gotten a new team that used to be the Atlanta Thrashers, which was an expansion team that they got in the late 90s that didn't pan out, just like the other expansion team to Atlanta didn't pan out in the 80s, which moved to Calgary.
Well, yeah, because Atlanta doesn't like hockey.
Yeah.
No, what Atlanta likes is they like moonshine. Real
Atlanta,
good moonshine.
Atlanta likes the Braves, Coca-Cola, and moonshine.
Hey,
Mhm.
guys, there's nothing wrong with a good shine. I still have my family's recipe.
Good man.
Corn squeezins.
Corn
Right.
squeezins are different, man.
Really, are they?
Yeah. To make corn squeezins, you take the corn stalks and you
Okay.
put them in a silo with jugs underneath, and you ferment what runs down.
Okay.
Making the shine, you mash it like it's whiskey. It's a little different.
Okay. So I don't understand quite the same nuances. My forebears are from Kentucky on my dad's side, and more than a few of them were shiners. Backwoods shiners.
Oh, so you mean your family was competing with old Paul Heath and my family?
Pretty much. So they were a rival brand, I guess.
Is what it is.
Is what it is, yeah.
Ah, crap. I think some of your links are busted.
It happens. You'll get everything straightened out.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is if they, instead of just left clicking it and going straight to it, if they just go and copy and paste the whole doggone thing, it should work.
Okay.
Because it worked last time I spaced it out. This time it looks like it just broke the link.
Interesting.
Because the thing that YouTube likes to do, it'll either put, if the link's too long, it'll put 3 dots at the end of it, and then that'll wind up breaking it. But if you space that apart, and hit enter and go and put it underneath, sometimes it'll register, sometimes it won't.
Yeah.
Good thing though is if you just highlight it and just copy paste, you should be good. So looks like, oh god damn it, some couple people's links are all messed up. I'll figure this out.
Yeah. You get everything figured out. It took me a long time to get everything, get all the ducks in a row as far as that goes.
Mm-hmm.
So did you want to do a pre-shill, or did you want me to jump right into chaos news?
Definitely get straight into the news.
Alrighty. And I will start with the one we were just talking about. So we got Hyrukin, we got Ryder, we got let's see who else we got. And we got Uzi, we got Rose. Who else we got in there? So yeah. Hey chat, how's everybody? All right. So let's see. This is oh, this is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. This is certainly indicative of the times that we live in right now.
Well, don't keep us in suspense, man. Share.
I will share as soon as this stupid mirror.co.uk freaking thing load, you bastard. Don't give me that progress bar. Give me something I can read.
Get it with a baseball bat.
Well, my screen's already cracked. I don't want to give it too much. Okay, here it is. Finally. They're not throwing a damn ad up on me. Okay, calls to boycott Peter Rabbit of food allergy bullying.
Food allergy.
Wait.
Food allergy bullying.
Nah.
For the damn Peter. Gosh.
Got it.
Safe spaces galore. All right. The makers of the new Peter Rabbit film have a backlash over a character's allergy. In one scene, farmer Tom McGregor, who has an allergy for blackberries, is pelted with the fruit by a gang of bunny rabbits. The offending segment sees Peter Rabbit and his friends even manage to shoot one blackberry into McGregor's mouth, forcing him to use an EpiPen to treat his reaction. Oh, gosh.
And this is causing boycotts?
This is causing boycotts.
Oh my God.
Oh, Lord. Oh.
Over damn food allergy.
When did we become so sensitive?
I blame the 90s.
Dude,
Yeah.
the 90s are a bit of a blur for me in some spots, but it wasn't that bad.
People refused to beat their children for reasons that maketh no sense, because progressive communism was apparently a thing.
It still is.
Progressivism of the 1990s has pretty much led to the last 20 years. This SJW. Unfortunately, early on in the early 90s, I was part of that, and I've been trying to make up for it ever since. Let's see. The film is a Sony Pictures adaptation of the popular Beatrix Potter book, Peter Rabbit. It was released in the U.S. this weekend, but has caused uproar in the allergy community. We have communities now.
Yep.
Son of a bitch. You know, I get a little sniffly and sneezy when the weather changes, and certainly if I try to do anything around any kind of dust, I know it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad, and I know there are people out there with a lot more severe allergies out there. But do we need to call ourselves a community? No. You take your antihistamines, you stab yourself with your EpiPens, you get through it. And if you don't get through it, then go to the pearly gates with some dignity.
You know, Six, you're stepping on their intersectional fun.
Fuck their intersectional fun.
There's no such thing as intersectional fun. There is just fun.
Yeah.
I know, but I had to make the joke.
Yeah. It appears campaigners have condemned the scene, which some insulted viewers, even creating the hashtag boycott Peter Rabbit. The charity Kids Food Allergies Foundation said in a Facebook post, "Food allergy jokes are harmful to our community." Well, fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you squared. Fuck you tried. Fuck you quadded. Fuck you. How much further do you go up there mathematically?
Infinity.
Infinity.
Fuck you, infinity.
In infinity, fuck you. A petition has been launched calling on Sony Pictures to apologize. Fuck you. Thousands have signed fuck you too. In a joint statement, fuck you, Sony Pictures and the filmmakers told the BBC, double fuck you, that they should not have made light of the issue of food allergies. Go fuck yourselves.
Go fuck yourselves thoroughly. Little barbed wire dildo
I
that's
think this is the
electrified,
most
you
I've heard
sons of
you
bitches.
use that word. Say-
Well, this really pisses me off because
It's asinine.
It is insane, guys. It is.
cowering in their allergy safe hypoallergenic bunkers. Go fuck yourself. Live your life, and if you die in anaphylactic shock, then you lived a good one. You went out fighting.
Oh, I bet you they would have done this with the movie Mrs. Doubtfire if it were more modern. Because remember, Robin Williams' character went and put pepper on what's his face's food. It was a big pepper.
Yep.
You're selling the robot real bad there, Tara.
Fuck!
Ultron is taking its hold.
I remember the scene she's talking about. Robin Williams put pepper on the other guy's food dish.
Yeah. I remember that one. So yeah, this kind of pisses me off because I don't like to hear that kind of defeatism.
Yeah.
That, oh, woe is me, poor me. I've got allergies. This offends me. Go fuck yourselves.
It's called Maybe You Should Seek Medical Treatment and Get a Foot Firmly Placed Within Your Ass. And then after you get done being sodomized by that, you get some discipline programmed into you by having a nice long date with some hard manual labor.
Well, my question is whatever happened to laughing at yourself? If you can't laugh at yourself, if you can't expose your issue to humor.
Yeah, if you laugh at yourself, then you're letting Trump win.
Yeah. Oh, because you have to.
I guess this is why I get called a Nazi online. And Russian bot.
Yeah.
Russian bot's my favorite.
Fuck's sake. Anyhow, I need something cheer me up, so I need to laugh at something, and this might actually fit the bill here.
Okay, cool.
It is another mirror.uk, but this one actually is it's kind of funny. Women are enjoying orgasms in the gym, and it's nothing to do with sex.
Bullshit.
The quote unquote coregasm was first recognized in 1953, and it can happen especially during running or weightlifting. Well, until the day comes when you're paid vast sums of money to attend the odd gym class, many of us have a strained relationship with exercise. Yes, we know it's good for us. Yes, we try to do our best to stay healthy, but it's not always easy to enjoy. Or is it? Some women are apparently deriving a lot of enjoyment out of exercising, far beyond feeling that runner's high everyone's always begging on about. Let's see. Also called a coregasm, according to scarymommy.com or whatever. While doing an intense workout, your body can reach an orgasm because of the release of endorphins.
So
I'm not really buying it, but
so are they confusing adrenaline rush with orgasm?
I don't know. While this is more prevalent during ab workouts, it can also occur during running or weightlifting. What's more is a coregasm can even potentially last for hours, and contractions can be felt in the abdomen and inner thighs. Really? Coregasms were first addressed in... What's that?
I was going to say, that's called muscle fatigue, not an orgasm.
Hey, you almost got me jealous there, Six, because, I just did an hour on the bike, and I was like, really? Women having orgasms from working out? That pisses me off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Tara. That sounds more like muscle fatigue or muscle failure.
Whatever it is, apparently these coregasms were first addressed in 1953 by sexologists. Alfred Kinsey, Refinery 29 explains. In sexual behavior in the human
I'll go
female.
with Dr. Ruth. Thank you very much.
In sexual behavior of the human female, he wrote that 5% of women he spoke with mentioned experiencing orgasms during exercise. Of course, as fun as corgasm may sound, their habit of striking while you're in a public place probably isn't ideal. Still, this is enough to entice you to go to the gym. This must be something that only women apparently get, because I don't think I've ever experienced anything remotely like a corgasm when I was lifting or doing anything like that. I don't know. That sounds.
I recognize it as back pain.
I get some type of deranged gasm, but very few people believe me. I get crime gasm, because when I read the crime rate stats, I actually genuinely get an entertainment from it. I wouldn't call it sexual, but it is a very morbid sense of entertainment and amusement.
Say, Burnside, do you like karmic entertainment? So I have just the thing for you. Let's see. Schoolgirl filmed angrily slapping an older woman in the street is kicked and punched to the ground by another teenager just a day later.
Good.
Would you want to bet it was her grandma?
I'm going to throw that in the side chat just for you guys, so you can enjoy this beat down for yourself. Okay, so let's read this article, shall we? After I skip their god flicking survey.
Video ads.
Yeah, your surveys gave me the beach ball of death. Thanks a freaking lot. Yes, I did say skip survey. Skip freaking survey. Good gosh. Anyhow, this is the horrifying moment. A schoolgirl is punched and kicked in broad daylight in an apparent revenge attack after she allegedly slapped an older woman in the face just 2 days earlier. It came after a shocking Snapchat video emerged showing a teen girl lashing out at the elderly lady on Hounslow Street in West London after shouting at her, "Who are you talking to?" A separate horrendous video now shows apparently the same girl after being knocked to the ground, with her friends telling onlookers who intervene she slapped her mom. Okay, so yes. The frightening footage shows a passerby trying to break up the ruckus, where the attacker is lashing out at the girl on the ground. She continues to hit out with punches and kicks before a group of people intervene and finally stop the assault and haul the girl to her feet. It came after the shocking video of the girl lashing out at the older woman sparked a barrage of anger online over the unwarranted attack. The footage that appears to have been filmed by passerby showed the woman shaken in tears, being brutally slapped. She is seen being comforted by a girl who stopped to put her arm around her and console her. One Twitter user wrote, "Vile kids today. She needs a backhand herself." Another posted on Instagram, "I would smack that bitch if it was in front of me." The Met Police said in a statement that a 13-year-old girl was arrested 2 days after the attack on Wednesday in the same street before being released under investigation. The victim, a woman in her early 50s, had a swollen face but did not need medical treatment. The Met Police have been contacted for comment over the apparent revenge attack on the same girl who lashed out at the woman. Well, as they say, what goes around comes around. I think karma has been satisfied and justice has been served, in my opinion. If you're going to slap old people, better be prepared to get a slap in return. And she got that in kind. I would even say she got that plus interest.
Well, speaking of slapping old people, yesterday Katrina and I almost beat the shit out of a redheaded old lady in an electric cart.
Oh, what did she do?
This one.
Well, what happened is that we were grocery shopping. We're in the deli or the dairy aisle, and Katrina's son and his friend were sitting in the cart. I had the cart full of food. She had the cart full of kids. So we're going along, doing our thing, and this old woman takes the electric cart and just rams Katrina's cart. And Katrina just flipped her shit, yelling at her, because the old woman then yells at her, "Move the kids." And she's like, "Listen here. You could have backed up, waited something. I was minding my business, doing my groceries, and you just slammed your cart into my cart with 2 little boys in it." She's like, "Watch where your blind ass is going." And so she was so pissed. She went and spoke to one of her managers, and the manager, he's like, "Well, what does she look like?" And she gave a partial description. I gave the rest. And so she went and he went and talked to her. Turns out the old woman did it on purpose because there was a little black boy in the cart with a little white boy.
Seriously?
Really?
So I posted on Facebook saying to the old redheaded bitch and dressed like a schoolgirl in the electric cart, I hope you get hit by a fucking car. And at the end of my rant, I go, take a walk in traffic, you old cunt, you fucking cunt. But the manager went and talked to her, and she's like, "There shouldn't have been a black boy in there with a white boy." And he goes, "It doesn't matter. They're her kids. Now, with what you have in your cart, go to the register, pay, and get out."
Yeah.
But man, Katrina and I would have been YouTube sensations, because that probably would have been the top viewed video on my stream if I had videotaped it, because Katrina and I were both going to whoop her ass.
Let's see. Speaking of shopping carts, we have a story. In the UK, they call them trolleys. So keep in mind, that's what they're talking about. They're not talking about like a train or something. Anyhow, Tesco trolleys spark outrage over their instructions, but not everyone sees the problem. Okay. Eagle-eyed shoppers have noticed something is amiss with Tesco trolleys. While it may have completely passed you by on previous shopping expeditions, if you look at the trolley handles, you'll see the safety instructions. Oh dear, what are they butthurt over now? Okay, this is what they say. Don't let your children climb all over them. Don't turn your back on the trolley when your child sat in it. This is their justification. All of this is, in parentheses, arguably common sense. But as one shopper pointed out, it's all aimed at women. Ooh, sexism on the shopping carts.
How the fuck is it all aimed at women if it's on every single shopping cart?
Okay, this is a broad assumption that only women are going to have their kids with them shopping. So I've seen a lot of men do it as well. So that's kind of sexist to assume that there's sexism here. So it's like a double sexism. It's like sexism inception. Anyhow, the instructions almost exclusively. Oh, I see. It almost exclusively shows a woman in a dress doing the shopping with a child in tow. A woman from Manchester posted a complaint on Twitter with the hashtag #EverydaySexism. The Sun reports. True, it's 2018 and men are more than capable of doing the shopping and looking after the kids, but some people have noticed their disagreement. Have voiced their disagreement at the accusations of sexism. Let's see. This is some of the usual shit that you would expect from a very left-leaning part of the world. Okay. Just because the person on the trolley has a dress, it doesn't mean that they're a woman. It could be Bleedy Dan LaRue or Quentin Crisp or some such. I never heard a peep out of about this when I worked at Tesco. So don't assume gender. So I guess let's say another person says.
Oh God. So basically, they're saying there's such things as very well-looking trannies, and you should tap someone on the shoulder and be just as equally idiotic and rude and go, "Pardon me, sir, ma'am, thing, but thou beest a transgender." Yeah, that'll go over so fucking well when you're missing 3 teeth afterwards.
Yeah, yeah. But this one makes a little bit of sense. At this rate, Tesco is going to have to put 100 different stickers on their trolley to make sure they don't single people out or leave people out. Hashtag get a life. Hashtag stop complaining. Hashtag Tesco.
I don't normally do pound sign things, but yeah, I second that. Just get that thing called
Hashtag fuck you, snowflakes. Okay.
And on top of that, wear a fucking name tag if you want to be identified as your goddamn fictional gender thing. Walk around with a goddamn sign of it with all your squiggly, goofy pattern things it says. IR quad gender trans-dimensional brony lord, or where the hell you people are.
Now, Burnside, you know I identify as an attack helicopter, right?
Well, then I hope you have a very well visible attack helicopter pin. Because unless I see something representative of an attack helicopter, I'm going to just assume you're a battle tank or some shit.
I'm just messing with you.
Up. Hey, joke's always better when you play into it, man.
Yeah. There are those, however, who fiercely oppose the gendered trolley instructions. Samantha Rennie, an executive director at Equality Group, the ROSA UK Fund for Women and Girls, said, "The idea that shopping trolleys should be gendered in any way seems ridiculous. It's a seemingly small factor that plays in a role in reinforcing stereotypical ideas of the woman being responsible for the weekly food shop." For fuck's sake. Father for Justice also waded into the fray, with the campaigner Matt O'Connor adding, "Tesco needs to stop this gender apartheid." Holy fuck. Happily, Britain's biggest supermarket have announced plans to introduce trolleys featuring gender-neutral images, and over 20,000 trolleys have already been switched. Way to go! Wait. Let those big balls hang there, Tesco. Let those big balls hang.
Why don't they just wave the official surrender sign on every stupid trolley?
See, this is almost as bad as the replacement of walk, don't walk on traffic signals.
Right.
They have their testicles sitting right there on that chopping block.
Well, you know, all these trolleys are by their very nature inherently ableist. Because not everybody walks on 2 feet there.
Speaking of ableist, oh dear Lord, you guys should get a load of who's marching in the Portland Alliance for May Day.
Oh.
It is a gender fluid ableist group called Glitter Glam.
Glitter Glam?
Oh,
I swear to God, right behind the banner. Right behind it.
What in hell did they do? Do they just randomly assume, all right, I'm gonna identify as this gender. All right, let me go grab a tube of this glitter and stick it up my my gender hole. Or just hit a button and it just goes poof.
Well, these are the people that will be virtually guaranteed that they will be a different gender at the end of the march than they were at the beginning. It's an in transit transition between one gender to another.
I'll tell you what, Burnside,
mercurial.
You'll have to check out my video on it. I'm going to be posting one in the next couple of days.
Oh God, I think I'm going to need a beer.
Might be a good idea.
Go get one.
Here's what the Tesco spokesperson said. Everyone's welcome at Tesco, which is why we've been changing the icons on our trolleys to use a new gender-neutral design. The new design is already on over 20,000 trolleys and will feature on all new trolleys in the future. For fuck's sake.
That's out of curiosity. How the hell does a trolley have a gender when it's a fucking machine?
Well, there's these little circular pictures on the handles of the trolleys, and they have the audacity to depict females as shoppers with children in the cart.
Now, Burnside, did you just insult Minerva?
I insulted whoever the hell designed that, because you know what? You know what they need to do? They need to have a shopping cart full of middle fingers, and all those characters they have should have middle fingers sticking up. So whenever anybody wants to assume anything, they can assume that whoever designed that, whoever those caricatures are supposed to be representing, they give no flying fucks about whatever you think they are at all. Gender identity and all that shit, no, they give no fucks. They want to flip you off.
So I don't know exactly where this is leading in, where exactly what side they're taking on this one, but this is, yeah, this
that confusing, eh?
This well, the thing is, it's not a law that we have to tip here in the United. It's a courtesy in the United States, but it's not a law. So you know, whatever. Okay, the server was mad when a church didn't tip her for a $735 order. Now she's fired. Let's see. Let's see what side is taken here. Let's see. Okay, there is an update that this mega church did finally you know, step in and pay a tip on that order, but this is how this is how things started out. Okay. Tamlin Yoder spent most of her shift at an Outback Steakhouse raiding a takeout order for 25 people. This is in Florida, by the way. The 75-item order placed by a Christ Fellowship church in Palm Beach Gardens on Wednesday included 25 steaks, 25 chicken dinners, and 25 sides of potatoes. The total bill was $735. Total tip, $0, she told reporters. It wasn't long before Yoder took her frustration to social media. She vented on how she only received $18 in tips that day from other orders because she was so busy preparing the mega church's order. Let's see, she's quoted, "We take the order over the phone. We put the order together, make payment, and then take order to the car," Yoder told the Palm Beach Post. "It's a lot of work, just as much as serving." The next day, Yoder says her manager fired her and that the church received a full refund. According to the Palm Beach Post, an Outback Steakhouse spokeswoman explained that the company policy says employees can't post about customers on social media and are subject to termination if the policy is violated. In a statement, David Lonsberry, an executive director of business for Christ Fellowship, told the Post the situation was a misunderstanding. Let's see. "We did not call the restaurant to have her fired. We wanted to get the situation resolved. That night, we had a volunteer go to the restaurant and pick up the order since we were having a big conference. He probably didn't know to tip since it was a rush of the moment thing. The church did reach out to me. They are trying to rectify the whole thing and thank them," Yoder told the YFLX. Yoder is currently looking for a job. So that, you know, I've worked some pretty shitty days, and I've certainly had the temptation to go out and, you know, just unload every ounce of frustration that I have in my body into social media, but I never did, because I understood, you know, the policies of the places that I worked, and I certainly I would not have done it, largely because I you know, I respect the people that I work with, and they have to deal with the same kind of shit. And I don't want to be the guy that just you know, freaks out because he had a bad day and he had to deal with some assholes. I mean, other people, you know, if that's your thing, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do, you know, more power to you. That's, you know, but that's not me.
See, I'm a bit confused here because, you know, I worked as a personal clerk at, you know, a grocery store when I was in high school, so on and so forth. I've had some jobs where you get tips. I never thought I was entitled to a gratuity when I did those.
Me either. And like I said, it's not a law.
Yeah.
To tip, you know, you might get some ugly looks from
grumpy, but just being on social media and bitching about it was definitely the stupidest thing to do. Because that's the thing that's gotten a lot of people fired from their jobs.
Yeah.
Is going out of the Zuckerberg and going, me so grumpy, me have bad day at work, and then your manager's on the Zuckerberg and goes, oh, you don't like the company. Oh, well, fuck you. I fire you now.
Yeah, there was a Stam, it was like 5 or 10 years ago. There was some girl that she was fired before she even had her first day because she unloaded on social media, and it just happened that her future boss was either friended to somebody she was friends with, or was already friended with her, or she made the mistake of having all of her posts public. Anyhow, the manager caught wind of this, and yeah, she was fired before she even she was starting the next day, and he pretty much, you know, called her up and said, sorry, you're fired. So yeah, this if you have a grievance with the place that you work,
to the job, not to the stream, not to the webs of social media.
Right, keep it to yourself. And look, yeah, I will go on all day about the places that I used to work, because I used to work there. I don't work there anymore, so, you know, fuck it. So I don't have much problem doing that, but I would not have done that while I was still working there. That's just idiotic. You know, I know people have bad days. People have bad days, and they want to talk about it, and they want to talk about it with their friends, and their friends are all on social media, and they just want to vent and, you know, get hey, I want everybody to get some sympathy here because I've had a really shitty day, and so on and so forth. But it's not the venue. That's not the place to do it. And yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I hope she finds a new job, and I really hope she's learned a valuable lesson here.
Definitely.
Yeah, others
online if it's public.
Mm-hmm.
Set your profile to private.
Yep.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, there was a kind of a funny one a couple of days ago that we never got around to reading. It's a little bizarre, but since you have like animals in the title of this thing, I thought I thought it appropriate to go back and read this one. All right, a Valentine condom campaign urges lovers to think of animals.
Oh
man!
Why are we suggesting "quote unquote" sheepskin?
Well, this is the deal. An environmental group wants couples to think of wild animals before acting like them this Valentine's Day. The Center for Biological Diversity is handing out endangered species condoms at the Carnegie Science Center adults only Valentine event Friday in Pittsburgh.
I gotta know. Does this condom have like the image of a panda cock on it?
I would say, or
brings new meaning to the word running deer.
or a spotted screech owl or some other endangered species. Oh my gosh.
God.
The wrappers feature colorful
to the words hung like a horse.
Well, it's better than say something with a smaller package. Speaking of packages, field mouse. The wrappers feature colorful artwork and slogans like "Before it gets any hotter, remember the sea otter."
Oh God!
And "Can't refrain, think of the whooping crane."
Oh, it sounds asinine.
Why not just put a dolphin on there? At least it would be a better image for people because, you know, dolphins accost women all over the world every year.
Oh, man. You going all in? Then think of the dolphin.
Go swim with the dolphins, Tara. Go swim with them.
I actually do quite often because when we go out into the ocean, we'll go into the Gulf, into a nice clear area, and there's usually dolphins out there.
Yeah, be careful. They've been known to have their way with tourists.
Yeah, and that's just the football team.
Yeah, but they gotta be afraid of me.
The one thing I'm wondering is, okay, so if are they making male and female condoms?
I don't know.
If they're making female condoms, then you quite literally could have a sexually violated alligator. All right, honey, roll over. Oh, wait, you're supposed to go on the other end. And nope, you're being the gator tonight, honey.
Are you satisfied, or are those just crocodile tears? Before we get too dark here, the group hopes to show how human population growth negatively affects wildlife. The center based in Tucson, Arizona, is also handing out condoms Friday at an after-hours event at the San Diego Natural History Museum.
Ah, you said after hours where Irving was around.
Is he in the chat right now? I can't see the chat.
Yeah, he just popped up.
Ah.
He said dolphin. I'm working on it. Oh,
I cannot believe you found more examples of watermelon communism.
Watermelon, what?
Greenie on the outside, pinko commie in the center.
Oh boy. Lamont Craven, adult programs coordinator at the Carnegie Science Center, says the condoms are a perfect fit for our event. The package highlights a dire topic, while the contents are actionable ways to solve the problem. No word if each of these condoms comes with a stick of gum. Or come on, or at least a joke.
What's the matter? Am I the only one old enough to remember getting baseball cards with a stick of gum?
Actually, yes. I had to do with thinking there. I was like, wait, no, I had Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Yeah.
Stingy bastards didn't give you gum and Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
That makes me feel old.
What do you mean?
I'm a cradle robber.
You figured that out just now?
No, I've known it for a bit.
Oh.
Yeah, because I remember sitting in my high chair. These are my memories. Watching Popeye and Betty Boop in black and white.
Holy shit. I remember reruns of that.
I remember watching the Three Stooges reruns.
Oh, yeah. I love Three Stooges.
Oh, yeah. Three Stooges were great. So was the original Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I used to love the Beverly Hillbillies.
Oh, yeah, man. I've got them on DVD somewhere here in the house.
Nice. I heard it was a great show.
Black Gold, Texas Tea.
Whoa.
Oh, boy.
God, that's funny.
Well, here's I think these two have won the Yuppie Douchebag Award for 2018. I know it's early in the year, but I think these two they deserve every inch of that trophy. Let's see.
Uh-oh, he said every inch. Uh-oh.
Oh yes, yeah. These
violated alligators.
That's about as bad. Okay, these two, they sold everything and bought a boat to sail around the world. It sank on the second day.
Oh, I heard about this. Alex Jones was talking about that.
Yeah. Madeira Beach. Tanner Broadwell and Nikki Walsh dream the same dream. Give up the rat race, go live on a sailboat, see the Caribbean, maybe the world. They sold everything they owned in Colorado. Last year, they bought a 28-foot sailboat in Alabama and headed for Tarpon Springs. They lived at the marina for months, getting the Laganappy ready for the journey. Well, there's your problem there. You named it something stupid like Laganappy. Anyway. Yep. They said their goodbyes on Tuesday and set sail for Key West. The next day, the dream died in Johns Pass. The Laganappy sank Wednesday night while sailing into the fishing village turned tourist shop. Their former home sits capsized within sight of the bars and restaurants. Their belongings floated off to who knows where. Before they abandoned ship, Walsh grabbed their social security card, some cash, his ID, her phone, and Remy, their 2-year-old pug. They have no jobs, no savings, and nowhere to go.
But they saved the dog.
They saved the dog.
Yay!
How do I have everything, Walsh said, and end up in a shit hotel with nothing? Walsh, 24, grew up in Philadelphia. She dreamed of living in a high-rise. Then she met Broadwell. Oh, he must have been a winner. The 26-year-old was from Cocoa Beach with a knack for selling. Their boss flew them to Philadelphia. They were friends at first, and then they became more. He was sent to Breckenridge, Colorado to market timeshares. We got so tired of that lifestyle, he said, of doing things to make people do the things they don't want to do. So they started saving their money. He Ubered. They spent 2 years planning, then finally did it. They sold everything they owned, even his sport utility vehicle. In April, they bought a 1969 Columbia sailboat in Alabama for $5,000. Then spent that much fixing the 49-year-old boat. They named it. It's pronounced Lanyap. They named it the Lanyap. Creole for bonus, like the 13th.
Why not just name it bonus instead of something asinine that means bonus?
They want it to be different.
Hey, Burnside, what the hell were they doing retiring at 26?
I don't know.
I mean, fuck them. I'm going on 40. Fuck them.
I am 40. Fuck them.
I'm a year older than them, and I ain't even retired yet, man. I haven't even thunk of it. I actually fear that retirement will be a fossil by the time I get to your guys' age. They'll go, retirement? You mean that thing we had to outlaw? You mean like that thing that's so racist we had to abolish it?
Yeah, it probably will become racist by the time you're 40.
Creole for bonus. Like the 13th donut in a dozen, Broadwell said, it's something extra for you. They had no sailing experience. His father helped them sail along the Gulf Coast from Alabama to Panama City. That's how the couple learned how to sail. So no sailing experience. Falcon Millennial is probably, doing backflips in the chat. Let's see.
Oh, getting there.
Oh my gosh. They reached Tarpon Springs in May. They docked at Mar Marina, where Broadwell got a job. They worked on the hull, rewired the boat, and got it ready for their journey. We met a bunch of good people, he said. Everybody gave us nice farewell off the docks. They set sail Tuesday, anchoring off of on Anclote Key, Anclote Key. The next day, they passed by Clearwater Beach and made their way to John's Pass to dock for the night. Then it all went wrong. It was about 8:45 p.m. when they sailed into a new port, navigating a channel they had never sailed before. In the dark, fog rolled in. Ooh. Broadwell steered while Walsh stood at the bow, lighting their path with a spotlight, trying to figure out the navigational buoys. But the red and green buoy seemed out of place, they said, and the shoal wasn't where their 2016-17 navigational charts said it would be. Had Hurricane Irma altered the channel? Then it happened. The Laganappy, which I'm not going to say the lane app or whatever the hell is, struck something underwater. Walsh almost flew off deck. Waves rolled the sailboat. It tipped from side to side, almost going under. Broadwell realized the keel had been ripped off the bottom. Water started to leak into the cabin. They put their life jackets on, and Remy too.
Oh my God. Okay. I gotta ask this, especially giving that context. Okay, this partially comes from Ryder and partially comes from one of my old job experiences. Were these guys such terrible fucking captains that they basically said, you know what, this isn't gonna work, honey. Let's just get the insurance money back from this by wrecking the hell out of it. Oh my God.
That's what it sounds like to me, Burnside.
They broke the fucking keel.
Yeah. Walsh dialed CETO, the AAA of the marine world. My hands are shaking, she said. I know I probably sounded like a crazy person to them. I'm stuttering, trying to talk to them. They said they would be there in 40 minutes. I thought that is a long time to spend out here. Walsh ran into the flooded cabin and grabbed what little she could. The crash had thrown their things onto the floor, and now their stuff was floating. I'm just standing there in awe, she said. I just lost everything I ever owned. I see my things floating away, and I can't get to them. CETO arrived about an hour later, and just in time, the Laganappy was sinking in about 9 feet of water and about to roll over. It was too shallow for the towboat to approach and get them off the sailboat. Abandoned ship. The couple had to jump into the water. Oh dear. I think you could sense our tragedy, Broadwell said. I sold everything I had to do this, and I lost everything in a matter of 20 minutes.
That's what happens when you gamble.
Yeah. Sometimes you come up snake eyes. The rest of the night is a blur. Stranded out on the side of the road with no help, some cash, and no credit cards. Broadwell's mother found them an Uber driver kind enough to spend hours helping them find a cheap hotel room. Thursday morning, the cavalry started arriving. People came out of nowhere, Walsh said. Everyone just started showing up to help us. Their new friends in Tarpon Springs drove down to help. Broadwell's mother arrived from Jacksonville. They had no insurance, nor will the Laganappy ever sail again. Its blue hull sticks out of the water in low tide. In fact, the Coast Guard told the couple they needed to get their boat out of there, and it could cost up to 10 grand to remove it and store it. They have about $90. Oh, gosh.
Why you need a depth finder or learn to read fucking radar so that you don't wreck your ship. Oh my God.
Yeah. They lost everything save for the shirts on their backs. Well, one shirt. Broadwell wasn't wearing a shirt when he jumped ship. I woke up today and I was like, I don't have that, he said Friday, or anything I had. They're relying on family and friends right now to get by. They just got some new clothes and shoes from Walmart. They have no idea how they'll pay to remove their boat or even where they'll live. Broadwell said they didn't have much to begin with. Why do you think we wanted to live on a boat? They might stay with his mother, then float around the state looking for work. They're still figuring it out, but they're still alive, and so is the dream. I'm not going to give up now, Broadwell said. I'm going to get another boat down the road. We just can't give up on our dreams, Walsh said. Holy shit.
Advice. Don't get a sailboat. If you're gonna do some dumb shit like that, get a big, obnoxious sized motorboat.
This is why dopey chicks like this should not start dating dumbasses like this. Really, just yeah, damn. When you see a chick, you know, with a head full of you know, little butterfly dreams, that's a bad sign. And when you pair him with a guy that's his head is full of sawdust and unrealistic expectations about his own abilities and just how the world works. It's a bad combination. And they have a dog. Poor dog. I feel sorry for the dog. He didn't deserve this shit.
Yeah, I definitely feel sorry for the dog and that girl. Just, you see, I don't know why these women date such blithering idiots.
Now, guys, next time they might accidentally take themselves out of the gene pool and cure this issue for all of us.
Yeah, this was a near miss as far as that goes.
Yeah, I mean, sailboats, typically your keel is literally like a giant, obnoxious-sized fin that goes down like 10 or 15 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Falcon just direct messaged me. 6, you're triggering me.
He's like,
yeah, he's bitching about these people in the chat so bad.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, I'm trying to get communists from space to crack an original joke, and he said something about Ethiopian and the Olympics and the Hunger Games. I was like, I don't get it. What are you talking about?
Well, it's creative. I'll give him that.
Yeah, it's creative, but I'm like, come on, man. And he's like, dude, it's 4 a.m. here. I'm like, you shut the hell up. You've got your fancy-ass bread line basket over there. You've got 1,000 lines for your nice sourdough bread and fucking Scott whiskey.
What the hell is Scott whiskey?
It's that communist Scottish off-brand whiskey they make for the whiskey lines. You know, you go to one line for your sourdough bread rations, and then you go to the store and you get your sourdough bread. Then you go to the other one, you fight 10 Scotsmen, and then you get your ration cards for your shitty whiskey. And you go to the discount liquor store and you get your shitty Scott. They can't even spend the money to finish spelling Scottish whiskey. Just put Scots, SCOT whiskey on there. And it's like, there you go, comrade. You're all set to go. See you next week, fucker.
Well, here's an article that should put most of us in a fairly good mood. This is one that has been provided to us by our guest here, Veteran Mountain Man. Before we go on to that, I just want to say thank you very much, Colleen Bernier, for the previous line of stories. Those were quite nice. Thank you very much for them. She is, of course, our senior Florida band correspondent, and she brings some pretty cool stuff here. All right, so let's see. Background checks are not the answer to gun violence. Well, I agree and disagree at that at the same time. But let's see what the opinion piece here is. With each mass shooting, calls rise from gun control advocates for tighter rules on firearms. The go-to policy prescription involves background checks, but a measure passed by the House and being considered in the Senate to expand the National Instant Criminal, that's the NICS check, would not only fail to fix major flaws in the system, but also probably introduce new ones. Before we go any further, I just want to mention that I did work for a gun store, and I've done 4473 forms and called up the authorities and talked to them about the authorities, talked to them and so on and so forth. So I'm very familiar with this system, and when all the authorities are actually doing their job, it works. It works. But when they don't do their job, or they don't get enough information from, say, the Air Force, then that's when the system breaks down. And there's, I would agree that there's no new stuff that they can do to it that it's going to make it any more effective. If they want more effectiveness, then they need to improve the way. Well, they need to get the people that are paid to do NICS checks to do their job properly.
Agreed.
A lot of this is because the people that they have there, they're
What are they trying to
they,
do?
they drop the ball a lot. You know, I'm not saying that all of them that work there are completely incompetent, because the people that I normally.
Oh, echo.
Echo.
Give me a minute, guys.
Sunday.
Fuck off.
Anyhow, I know it's a tough and thankless job, but you got to do it. You got to do it right, because there's a lot riding on this kind of thing, and there's a lot of people that do, that do get through the fall through the cracks, and holy shit, fuck's sake. Anyway.
Well, Six, one of those problems I have with the system is we've got a county sheriff here in Oregon that hasn't been allowed to buy a gun for 5 years because he keeps coming up hot on a background check.
Right, I know. It is. If they're going to fix those kind of flaws, then yeah, that they got to do that, because that's idiotic. That it's.
I agree.
It's like, holy shit! It's like trying to do surgery with a butter knife. It's.
Yeah, I tried that once. It didn't turn out so well.
I don't want to know, Burnside. I don't want to.
It was not easy, and it didn't work.
Yeah. Lawmakers from both parties acknowledge that errors in the background check system let felons obtain guns, as we saw in the deranged man Devin Kelly killed 26 people in a church in Sutherland Springs, Texas. I know where this place is. I've actually been through it a couple of times. It's not too far from where I live, actually. In November, the killer, while in the Air Force, had been convicted of domestic violence in 2012, involuntary, committed to a mental health care center, and given a bad conduct discharge. Yet the Air Force failed to follow policies to ensure that his conviction was reported to federal law enforcement, which allowed the killer to pass the check. The military has failed to report other such cases. The background check measures before Congress aim to improve enforcement of existing law and increase such reporting by imposing financial penalties on government officials whose agencies fail to provide required information. That's a good goal, but any proposal should also fix other major problems with the background check system: false positives that stop law-abiding people from getting weapons that they might need to protect themselves and their families. Case in point, there is a gentleman that I believe, I wasn't there when he tried to do it, but a coworker of mine was there when he tried to purchase a firearm, and it turned out that a conviction for, I think it was a DUI in the 1970s, is what kept this guy from being able to purchase a firearm. In those cases, we always had to tell the customers, hey, you need to get a lawyer to help clear this up. And a lot of them they do. They seek out legal counsel. They go to all the appropriate government agencies and talk to all the people that they need to talk to. Yet still, a lot of them are still thrown under the bus for something that really should have been cleared up decades ago, or they're mistaken for somebody that is a felon. And it happens, but these are certainly the things that need to be fixed if they're going to do any sort of fixes for this kind of stuff, and that sucks. The background check system confuses names of law-abiding individuals with those of criminals, resulting in thousands of false positives every year. Relying on phonetically similar names along with birth dates just doesn't allow for much accuracy, like the aforementioned butter knife and brain surgery. Ronnie Coleman, a Virginia resident, was not allowed to buy a gun in 2012 because another person from his hometown in Texas, who also had a felony conviction, also had a name and birth date close enough to his to cause a denial.
Close enough.
Tara,
if you have
the same birthday or not.
If your name is Brian Smith, S-M-I-T-H, and you have somebody else in the same town, their name is Brian Smith, S-M-Y-T-H. There are idiots that will get that confused.
Like that, are you kidding me?
There are idiots who will get that confused.
It gets confused all the time, guys. You got to realize
that's some bullshit.
Yeah, that is
bureaucracy,
but it happens
on
a lot.
Grade reading level.
Wow.
That's why I like my legal last name. I'm the only one.
And that's why I laugh at all the dead bodies in my city. Because they're all killed by bureaucrats. Yep. It was like, oh no, it's so racist, anti-Semitic, homophobic, xenophobic to have a Second Amendment right. God forbid you actually be able to defend yourself from the cultural enrichment that is McCringleberry Donkey Teeth wanting to kill you. Or the Allahu Shank Bar and the Allahu Rape Bar and all that shit, which, we really don't have the Allahu part of it, but, you get the idea with the rest of it.
All right. Let's see. Okay. Mr. Coleman was advised to get a unique transaction number from the background system to prevent this confusion in the future, adding another bureaucratic step to the process. Between 2006 and 2010, the last period for which more comprehensive annual data on the denial of firearm applications by the background check system are available, there were 377,283 denials, but the federal government prosecuted only 463 of those cases, leading to 209 convictions. So, doing the math, 377,283, prosecuting only 460 of those, and leading to only 209 convictions. So that means over 377,000 not even touched.
Wow. Sounds like you're doing a slender.
Yeah, mostly on charges of providing false information. There was a similarly small number of state prosecutions resulting from the gun purchase denials. Why didn't more of those denials lead to perjury prosecutions? According to my analysis, the reason is simple. A high percentage of cases are dropped because the applicant was wrongly denied clearance to buy a gun. Many of those people are trying to buy guns to protect themselves. This incredibly high rate of false positives imposes a real burden on the most vulnerable people, said Reagan Dunn, the first national coordinator for Project Safe Neighborhoods, a Justice Department program started in 2001 to ensure gun laws are enforced. The system also does a poor job of accounting for people who have had their rights to buy a firearm taken away and then restored. In the 1990s, Frank Wise of Jacksonville Beach, Florida, was convicted of check fraud after his employer went bankrupt. When his check bounced, the two checks he sent to his mortgage company also bounced. Nearly 20 years later, Mr. Wise was able to get his record clear, but that information wasn't entered into the background check system for 3 years. Getting this fixed cost him. Getting this fixed cost him $3,600 in legal fees.
The hell with that! Good God.
Yeah, even more people would face such problems if background checks were made universal, meaning to include the private sale or transfer of firearms, which are exempt from checks in most states. Many people consider this a common sense policy, but there would be a cost. Background checks involve fees that drive up the price of guns in private sales and make it harder for poor people to defend themselves. To get some idea of what background checks add to the price of a weapon, look at the fees for checks on private transfers in states that already impose checks. In New York City and Washington, those fees cost at least $125 for private gun sales. If people believe that background checks reduce crime and benefit everyone should pay for it out of general government revenue. Pushing background checks on private transfers, as proposed during the hearing, disarms many law-abiding poor people. So what should be done in the background check system fails to stop mass killers from attacking? One answer is to have more civilians carry permitted concealed handguns. Those law-abiding gun owners can help protect places where there are no police. And 2013, Police One, a news and resource site for active and retired law enforcement officers, released a survey finding that over 91% of the more than 15,000 verified law enforcement professionals who responded supported concealed carry. We do need to fix the background check system, but let's really fix it. Let's make sure that all rare cases like Devin Kelly can't slip through the cracks, but also let's make sure that the government stops preventing millions of law-abiding citizens from buying guns for protection. Adding more names without fixing these problems will only disarm law-abiding Americans.
Well, not just that, Six. It'll also cause some other problems. I had a buddy of mine a few years back. His kid got a little overly emotional while he was going through a divorce and was contemplating suicide. So he brought me his guns to hang on to. I live in Oregon. This was after they passed the universal background check. You know how much it cost for me to hold his guns for a year?
Probably a couple grand.
Not quite, but it cost a couple of $100. He only had 3 guns.
A couple of $100 for 3 firearms.
Each time.
Son of a bitch.
It was $300 to transfer them to me and then $300 to transfer them back.
That's ridiculous.
And all they did was sit in my safe with my other firearms.
That's ridiculous.
And the Oregon universal background check law has stopped me working on antique weapons.
Really?
Yeah.
Antique weapons?
Yeah. Anything serialized has to do a background check.
These are antiques.
Yep. Mostly flintlocks.
Background check for a goddamn antique. I mean,
because the new Oregon state law requires serialized weapons to be background checked. It requires flare guns too, as well.
Flare guns? You could barely kill somebody with a flare gun.
Hey, you haven't seen those 37 millimeter flare launchers that they sell at the PDX gun show, man.
Holy shit. Okay. So you're telling me that CNR eligible firearms?
Yeah.
That's asinine.
Hey, the only thing that keeps me working on cannons is most of them were never serialized.
Holy son of a bitch.
That and who uses a cannon nowadays anyways for anything other than film?
Why does anybody live in Oregon?
Well, now, to be fair, Six, I can still buy automatic weapons.
Lucky you.
FFL3. But
semi-automatics.
Oh, I can buy semi-automatics too.
Nice.
And Burnside, I use a cannon at least 3 times a year.
Lucky you, man. Shit.
Hey, you guys think the hat's a prop? I go out and I fire my cannons a few times a year, man. Got to keep that 5% ready.
Yeah.
Fucking sweet, man.
Damn. Well, I'm sorry to hear about that. That sucks.
It is what it is, man. I made peace with it a few years ago when they changed the laws. But it drove about 20 guys like me out of business.
Well, I'll tell you, you're always welcome in Texas, man.
Shoot, man, if I head back east, I'll probably go back home to Tennessee. They'd probably throw a parade.
Oh, hell yeah.
Get you some Yeah. So move right in next to the
the Beretta factory and just start doing repairs for them.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, that would work out pretty well.
Man. Oh, shit. Oh.
That's crazy.
I had to catch my breath after you said
Fucking hell.
the antiques. Oh, shit.
Yeah, man.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, yeah.
You know, another one that they did is they banned all ivory, even if it predated the ban.
That's good.
So you know, the mammoth ivory I've got, I can't sell anymore.
Can't sell. Why are they treating you like a goddamn drug dealer?
That's control freakism for the sake of control freakism. That's just the way these people think on the West Coast and certainly the East Coast as well. Is it the seawater? Is there something in the seawater that's doing?
I don't know, man, because I've been exposed to the seawater and I don't think like them.
Right. I grew up on the Gulf Coast and I, swam in the ocean and I've been stung by the jellyfish and I've eaten fish straight out of the ocean and sat on the beach and play with the sand and shit. I don't act like that.
Nope.
Good.
Yeah.
What in the flying fish fuck?
Man,
man.
They sold the whole ivory ban thing as a way to protect the elephants.
We don't have elephants in America. Why would we need an ivory ban?
Because I guess people are selling mammoth ivory that was forged.
You guys just know that communist in space isn't really a communist. They're deleting his comments and shit. And you do realize he's not actually a communist. He's just a guy with a funny avatar. He was hanging out with me and who the hell was there? There was it was Irate Prostate, it was Sir Adamantine. Damn, who else was on that stream? Dual Wield was there. There's some other people I don't remember. There's fuck.
I don't know. We've had a couple funny talks in that. It's been very entertaining.
Yeah, who else was there? There was somebody that showed up for just a minute, and wasn't there? Oh, AP Frog was there. AP was there. Who else? This was the stream that was happening during Whitey and Gemini's little giggle fest. So they stopped by and let's see. Shit, who else was there? I can't remember who else was there. There was a guy that didn't talk. I don't know why he wasn't talking. Oh, Colleen Bernier showed up after a while. I was there twice. I was there for a little while. And Colleen Bernier showed up. And she's got this really weird avatar. It's like this bridge that has like Dr. Pepper flowing under it. I don't know. That's what it looked like to me.
Funny. Sounds like my kind of woman.
She's the one who hunts us down all these Florida Man stories. She's our senior Florida Man correspondent, the one that is one of our major contributors to Chaos News. So thank you very much for your contributions there. Oh, I see Irving in the chat. How you doing, man?
I don't see him in here anymore.
He was there earlier. Oh.
You might still be listening. He just not typing anything.
Irving, get your ass in here.
Oh goodness.
I need my Jeff Goldblum fix.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, Burnside, this is your day, man. You got any stats for us?
Actually, yeah. I was waiting to get done with all the news and that because it's due to the cold weather. It's actually been a bit slow. It was slower than last February. Shall we lead with our regular prayer?
Yes. Veteran mountain man, brace yourself. You're about to hear me sing.
Oh dear Lord.
Me. Rahm Emanuel, patron saint of gun control, patron saint of nutshots, may the testicles roll downhill. Take it away.
All right. Hear ye, for these shall beeth the stats. We shall first leadeth with the totaleth of shots that have been fired thus far. For this month, we have 14 people shot and killed, so that's 14 dead bodies from bullets. We have a total
14
homicide.
people that probably were unable to protect themselves or their friends because of unreasonable gun control.
Yes. So, because the funny thing is, so far, we've only had one self-defense stat. So, you know, one. One lucky son of a bitch who was able to kill his assailant. Everybody else, completely screwed. You literally read my mind on that one, Six. You're catching on to this.
Yeah. I'm following the patterns.
Hell yeah. And the funny thing is, I think we almost broke last year's record because we're just 3 short of 60 total homicides. Just 3 short. Because remember last year when we were at February, we had about 62, if I remember correctly, for fatalities.
And this is only half. We're not even to the halfway point of the month yet.
Yeah. So I'm hoping it gets up there. And now, for the most sacredest of the stats, regrettably, we still only have 1 nut shot.
1 nut shot in a month and a half.
Yep.
Either they're not shooting enough, or they're actually getting better at shooting.
I'll check the accuracy stats as soon as I check the others. It looks like, oh, well, here's a plus point. We have 8 ass shots.
I'm gonna put a cap in your ass, literally.
Veteran mountain man, you were able to recognize the butt of the joke.
Oh yes, of course. I guess they hit the broadside of the barn there, didn't they?
Well, if you've seen the hindquarters that waddle around, yeah, it's kind of hard to miss.
Well, and also when you turn and run, I guess that doesn't make it much easier.
Oh, speaking of turning around, there's been 5 people altogether who have shot themselves. And these are not suicide attempts. These are people who have, through some altercation, accidentally shot themselves.
WTF, man? What the hell is wrong with Chicago?
Gun control, my friend.
Gun control.
Overreaching bureaucracy.
Cultural Marxism.
Oh, yeah.
Control freakism and just unreasonable across the board. And their leadership is all fucked up, too, because, well, you know who they have.
Yep.
He is the patron saint of nutshots. He is the patron saint of gun control. He is the one who demands this to all light candles for the gun control gods. They desire the testicles to roll downhill.
There is 2 funny things, though. It looks like you were right. Their accuracy has increased. We've got 19 fatal headshots and 27 fatal torso shots, and only 4 unknown.
Well, see, that's what happens when you turn your firearm from its normal sideways position to its upright position, where you can actually look down these wonderful magical things we call sights.
I guess they're starting to figure that out. They might be listening.
Yeah. The right side of the slide does not equate to sights.
Yeah, it doesn't work too well. Although it seems to have worked out well for one other stat that they finally updated. Carjackings. We've got 87 so far.
Wow. Well, hey, you know, nobody wants to walk in that snow, so.
Oh, yeah.
If they don't currently have a ride, well, hey, there's one right there. Let's go get his. Carjacking.
Yep, and, well, it looks like the shot saturation hasn't really thickened up too much, so I'm going to wait to read that for next week.
Yeah.
Changed by then.
I'm sure things will pick up about late March, maybe early April when shit's starting to thaw out.
Yeah. The sad thing is, it looks like we have had some officers involved in a couple shootings.
That sucks, and we need to we'll need to take a few moments here to recognize those officers that have fallen in the line of duty this year, and particularly this month. Thank you for your service, and thank you for your sacrifice and the life that you led that prompted you to want to protect your fellow Americans, and you will not be forgotten. And certainly this Chaos 120 streaming group, we do honor you, as well as military, because there is a blue ribbon that is sitting right next to the yellow ribbon that we have wrapped around this stream. So let's have a moment of silence here. Thank you all.
All right, I believe that for the stats. We'll see how the insanity develops next week.
Yeah. Funny, I had something funny I was going to say, but I forgot it. You got all solemn there for a second.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
Burnside, you're almost inspiring me to start bringing you the homeless stats for the West Coast.
Oh, yeah. Go for it.
Oh yeah,
I know this month 720 homeless people were evicted from their homeless camp.
So they were made homeless.
Yes.
Damn.
It's homelessception.
Well, they were trying to petition the city council of Portland to let them keep the homeless camp on the public right-of-way land.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Burnside, you were talking about thawing out and stuff like that, and I was about to say what won't thaw out, of course, is the gun control legislation.
Oh yeah, that's gonna stay firm as always. They're gonna be holding on to that in DACA for dear life until the Supreme Court or Donald Trump comes over and smacks it out of their hands.
Yeah, but
here's hoping.
State isn't a sanctuary state.
Yeah, California may be a different case there.
Yeah, but the good thing is California's at least on fire.
Well, do you guys know how Oregon became a sanctuary state?
Communism?
No. Judicial activism.
Oh God.
Activist judges. Yeah.
Yep.
Jackasses.
A judge in Multnomah County, one of the most progressive counties in the state, ruled that it was against state law for a state agency to help ICE.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
That's bullshit.
And it de facto turned us into a sanctuary state.
They have no respect for the rule of law.
They really don't.
It's feels before reals with them.
Oh yes.
Son of a bitch.
They don't give a shit that these people are breaking the law just by being here.
Well, man, you guys missed about 3 years ago. 18-year-old kid, illegal. She was one of these dreamers. She ran over 2 5-year-old girls that were playing in the street and leaves. Didn't stop. Went home, hid the car.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Are you serious?
And they didn't deport her.
They shoulda. That's
She's
murder.
still in the state. She's still in the state. She didn't even get prison time.
Much like the fellow with the stolen firearm, playing with it at the pier and shooting the lady. You know what? When I took my concealed carry course, the thing that they beat into our heads the most was that you are responsible for every projectile that leaves that weapon.
Yep.
You're responsible for everything it hits. If it happens to go through the perpetrator, you're responsible for what that projectile hits after it leaves his body. You're responsible for every layer of drywall that projectile goes through. You are responsible for any damage that it does to neighboring houses, or if you should happen to hit somebody that you didn't intend to, you're responsible for that. You are responsible for what that projectile destroys after it leaves your gun.
Always and ever.
So that illegal alien who shot that girl, he is responsible for whatever that projectile destroys. I don't care if you meant to shoot it. I don't care. I just don't care. I don't care. There is no alternative way of looking at it. He was responsible for that, and he should be in jail or on his way to a Mexican jail. I don't care where he serves his time, preferably in Mexico, so the American people don't have to pay for his ass.
Agreed.
This was an activist decision on the part of the people in that courtroom.
Speaking of a situation like that, here in Florida, about 2 months ago or so, a man was arrested and charged with improper storage of a firearm and child neglect because I think it was his wife's brother's ex-wife had a gun registered in her name but was storing it at their place.
That sounds confusing.
It is. And the two kids, one was 3, one was like a year, they were tugging back and forth on the rifle, and it went off and killed the 1-year-old.
Oh, for God's sake.
You know, in Texas, I don't know what it's like in Florida, but those who have a firearm inside a household with a child under 16, the weapon, you're responsible for keeping the weapon clear.
Yes, that's the way it is here. And, you know, people don't understand why this guy got charged because it technically wasn't his gun. But I just popped up
He was in the building.
One of 2 reasons why he got charged. One, he either claimed it as his own weapon, or 2, he it's the fact oh, I was just told that the guy actually claimed it as his own because his brother-in-law was looking at life in prison for it. My friend actually knows these people.
Oh,
my thing is it was his dumbass fault for, you know, not saying, no, I have 2 small children in this house. You cannot keep that here.
You know, Tara, I grew up around firearms. From a very early age, I learned a healthy respect for them. But my family kept them out of my reach before I could learn a healthy respect for them.
As did mine.
So I think it was actually his dumbass fault. That rifle shouldn't have been anywhere where those small children could have reached it.
Exactly.
Yeah. We are our own worst enemies.
I don't give a fuck. Keep it out of the kids' hands.
And sometimes when we are our own worst enemies, we're also the worst enemy of somebody else. There's a chain of responsibility there, and it always starts with us and branches outwards. Yes, this rifle should not have been anywhere where those kids could have gotten a hold of it. And it should have been clear.
Yeah.
I know you want to defend your home, but part of defending your home is defending the little ones there who may not know any better.
Yeah, you have to be responsible with firearms.
And the way you defend them is to keep them out of reach of those kids.
Well, to be fair, Six, I keep Minerva loaded, but she's my carry piece. The rest of mine are unloaded and locked away.
Yeah.
Nice. Good man, dude. Good man.
Yeah. Anyhow. Yeah. It's a hell of a thing, man. It's a hell of a thing.
Horrible thing.
Yeah. So, Burnside, I don't know if you wanted to cut it off now or you wanted to go a little later because we started later. It's kind of entirely up to you, man. It's your night.
We'll give it a few more minutes. I'm trying to explain the D20 rule to this Dingus Khan, and I swear I've explained it to this guy beforehand.
Which Dingus Khan?
Oh, is he back? Is it what's his name back? He wants
one of the two fallouts from the Wikia that got shut down because they're acting like a bunch of bastard children. No,
he's not getting a wrench. He's not getting a wrench.
No, he's not getting a wrench.
Yeah, we have this guy that shows up every show and demands a wrench.
Oh, are you talking about Riku?
Yeah.
Yes, you all are bastard children. Bastard children, termites, and you lack discipline.
Riku, you're not getting a wrench.
I have a wrench, but you're not getting one.
Okay, the rule is simple. You roll the D20. You get a 15, I congratulate you. You get a 16 or 17, you get a mention. Wait, was that what we settled on?
No, we settled on 17.
17? All right. You roll a 17 and you get a mention. So it's 17 and up. Not 8 total. It means you got to roll the bastard once and you have to get a 17 or higher.
It's not Riku, it's Cephas.
Oh, it's another one?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we seem to everybody wants a wrench. Is it a status symbol? I don't know. A wrench is something that you give somebody with the reasonable expectation that they're going to keep the chat free of junk.
Mentions and they want to hop in and scream "re" on the top of their lungs. If they want wrenches, I'd toss them out. But they're just grumpy because we got their Wikia thing shut down, and their best way of getting revenge is to beg us for mentions and stuff and ask where Bobby Rizzo's at and what have you.
Explain this thing to me.
What Kia?
Okay, long story short, when we started doing our Kekistan project, which we just got the third part into, we wound up running into this Kekistan wiki page that we wound up being a part of. And a lot of the kids were just being bastard children that lack discipline, just, being slanderous sons of bitches. And they were really pissed off Bobby. So he went and filed a professional complaint. And then, long story short, that went batshit crazy because he was basically expecting a moderator to just come in and just, tell these kids, all right, stop swearing. And you, Mr. Bobby, stop, putting, borderline pornography in here. And then everyone else stop using the N-word, the S-word, and all these other swear words and other, racial slanders and what have you. Not basically the owner's fandom basically went, "You say racism? Oh!" and then they basically took a super-sized fat man with an oversized mini nuke and just obliterated the site. They like literally went like social justice warrior on it. Or like, we just wanted a moderator to get these kids to fuck off for, you know, just acting like bastard children. They go, no, they must accept the progressivism, must accept the communism, must must capitulate. And then, yeah, the whole site got obliterated, and we just kind of sat there like, well, there goes that idea.
You know, you do that way too well, Burnside.
The funny thing is, I used to work at Walt Disney World as a janitor. Oh, for crying out loud! Yeah, that's all three of them that want to be vengeful for for the accidental obliteration of their digital safe haven. Sorry, guys.
Destroyed their safe spaces.
Yeah, I nuked. We accidentally nuked their digital Kekistan off the face of the internet.
Well, you weren't the guys moderating this shit. It was some asshole that went completely batshit crazy on them. Not your responsibility, as far as I'm concerned. Blame the asshole that destroyed your site.
Yeah, basically what wound up happening is basically they're like, nigger this, nigger that, and he's like, for the love of God, can you people stop it with this shit? And just basically every other word was that, and basically went, okay, can you send a moderator over here to take care of this? And then they just went, social justice me destroy, and we just looked at each other and went, oh shit, we woke the monster.
Yeah.
Sometimes
this is why you don't
communist bear sleep.
This is why you don't let the social justice warriors have any power, because when they use it, they abuse it because they're control freaks and they're authoritarians, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So the two most culpable people in this, the ones that bear the most responsibility, are the site runner, whether that be the site owner or whatever, whoever made the call to have this guy come in and moderate, and the moderator himself, whoever that was. So everybody else, fuck. I don't think it's unreasonable to want to curb some of this shit, because it does get kind of tedious and tiresome and so on and so forth.
That's kind of annoying because, I mean, but Bobby Rizzo's, he's an old time guy, so he's used to, being civilized in nature. So it's like, you know what, if you guys are going to talk, I don't mind if you put these things you call memes, because you're breaking into letting them know what the hell a meme is and that. And he's like, but can you guys, type more than 3 words in a sentence? I mean, stop, can you be intelligent and stop being so anal retentive? Yeah, it's hysterical because there is no Burnside in Kekistan. There's the Kekistan, and there's the Tekalonian. Or like, it's a joke in and of itself. We're adding to it. You can't add to it. Well, we just did.
Fuck off, bitches.
I wonder what they'd say about me.
Who knows? Anyhow, let's see.
Nose.
So do I have any?
You nose, Tara?
No, I said the nose, the shadow nose.
Ah,
that was a good. Have you listened some of the old programs of the Shadow?
Oh yes, I have.
My dad got back in the 80s. He got a box set of audio cassettes. And one of the radio shows was The Shadow. It's one of the shows that he used to listen to when he was a kid, when they first got their wireless.
Oh,
it's damn good stuff. The voice actors.
My favorite is Dimension X.
Yes,
nice.
It's astounding the level of talent. These were a lot of these radio actors were were like former vaudeville performers. So they understood the medium of what they were doing, and it was quite nice. It was quite nice. Listening to some of the old pros, do that stuff. And there were a lot of people from the silent movie era, actors from the silent movie era that were deemed to not have the right voices for the talkies, so that they went into being voice actors on radio, and some of the the really big talents came from that source as well. So it was quite an interesting kind of interesting time of just the pooling of these.
Amos and Andy, because the local college station on Sunday nights from 8 until 11, I think it was, would play what they called old time radio.
Mm-hmm.
And so they did everything from Dimension X to The Shadow.
Yeah, the old detective shows were really good.
The TV series Gunsmoke better because I listened to the radio show.
Mm-hmm.
Because it all stems from that.
Yeah. These radio shows were like the original scripted podcasts of their day. So it was. And it's kind of interesting how things have come full circle from the radio days on through the television and movies and stuff like that. But to come full circle to what is essentially scripted radio and talk radio. But instead of that, we listen to it while we do stuff. I put on this, I put on this stream when I'm doing something in the morning. I put on that stream when I'm doing this in the morning. So in a lot of ways, it's become a new like resurgence in that kind of medium of scripted radio and of course talk radio.
Yes, it has.
But we've taken it away from the networks, and we're doing it ourselves.
Yes, we're doing a better job because they're boring and bought out.
Right, and we're doing a better job than TV too, because a lot of this stuff is also visual as well.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
On mediums like on YouTube and Twitch and so on and so forth.
Yep, I even went through the difficulty of designing this caricature avatar, flag, font, and all that stuff.
Yeah. So essentially what we're doing right now is we've to at least some small degree replaced the legacy media's talk radio. This is essentially what we're doing right now is talk radio.
Yes,
pretty much.
Yes, it is.
But we have the freedom to do and say what we want, apart from some controlling corporate entity. We even have more freedom than, say, satellite radio.
Yeah, far more freedom than satellite radio.
Yes, far more freedom. And it's certainly freedom that YouTube would rather us not have, because we're wrong thinkers. We don't.
We're thought criminal.
We don't have the right. We don't have the right attitudes. We don't have the right beliefs. We don't have the right politics. We don't.
Don't drink enough soy for their liking.
Certainly, we certainly don't consume the soy in the volumes that they would like us to.
Mm-hmm. I don't know about you, Six, but I don't consume any of it.
I try not to myself, and when I find myself consuming a product that contains soy, then I no longer buy that product. I don't. There is some soy that's safe to eat, but it has to be the right kind. And the problem is, in the United States, we don't eat We largely don't eat the right kind of soy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Burnside?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be the Mayday Coalition banner, the Youth and Family contingent, the Glitter Block, which are the disabled contingent of self-identified disabled multi-gender spectrum folk.
What in the unholy goat fornication, Batman?
The anti-colonial, anti-imperialist contingent, including PCHRP, Ayakaba, Gabriel Portland, AARP Oregon, the Brown Berets, Vaughn's Workers' Rights Education Party.
So a bunch of cultural Marxist fuckbags.
Brown berets? What the hell's a brown beret? There's no such thing as a brown beret.
The Brown Berets are a queer women's feminist Marxist group.
Yeah.
They had to go and pick Nigerian brown for their uniforms. They have no taste, really. All the other berets were taken. They had to go with the Nigerian brown. That is the ugliest beret in military existence.
Well, don't ever credit these people with creativity. They have none.
And of course, Antifa PDX will be there.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yes.
But you guys will get to see my video stream. I will probably Periscope it through my YouTube channel.
Well, when that goes down, certainly send us the links.
I will post the links right when I start recording.
Awesome.
What was that, Tara?
Real quick.
Bodog and Cephas are asking for a link to the Hangout again. And I told them no.
We're about to shut down here. So I don't know what expectation they have, really.
Malevolent Writer already put them in a timeout. What makes them think that they're going to succeed a second time?
Because persistence sometimes works.
Sometimes.
Hey,
I find it kind of annoying.
Persistence worked is because I have tits.
I don't know. I find persistence annoying.
Yes, but you have to keep saying no every time. They only have to get yes once.
I have no problem saying no.
Neither do I.
Anyhow, where did Burnside? Oh, is he doing rounds?
I think he is.
No,
Yeah.
he's at home. He's off tonight.
Then he must be taking a dump.
Or a leak.
That would be my guess. Yeah, number 2 or number 1. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Apparently there will be free snacks and water provided at the Portland May Day rally. And ASL and Spanish interpreters.
Of course. Sanctuary City.
Oh, and no scent, perfume, or lotion.
So, smelly bastards from here to Shining Sea. What the fuck?
Well, I think Glitter Block has some people who have allergies to strong smells.
The allergy safe spacers.
Yeah.
They can go fuck themselves.
Dude, I have an allergy to perfumes when people like bathe in it instead of just spritzing it on.
Oh, and apparently all of the porta potties are going to be ADA accessible.
Of course.
Hey, guess what? I don't use porta potties. My happy ass will either pop a squat, go to an actual restroom, or walk into the men's room. I have no problem. They're standing at a urinal. I'm using a fucking stall. I was at the Hogtown Fair one year, and Yeah, that kind of doxed myself, but that's cool. And I had to pee really, really bad. And the line for the ladies' room went halfway around the building. While there's like men coming in and out of the men's bathroom. So I walk in, lower my head, look for the stalls out of the corner of my eye, go in. I had a guy follow me out saying I owed him money for walking in on him while he was pissing.
Really?
Yes. Luckily, he made the mistake of doing it in front of the cops.
Oh, dear Lord.
And the cops are like, okay, what's going on? And I told him, I was like, I had to pee really bad. Look at the line for the ladies' room. I'm not, and he's like, well, there's porta potties. I was like, do you know how many germs are in those fucking things? And he's like, well, did you look up? I said, this is exactly how I went in. Lowered my head. I said, do you want to know how I came out? He goes, the same way. Exactly. He goes, and I'm taking it, you used the stall and locked the door, right? I was like, yep. He goes, okay, sir, leave her alone. It's not illegal for her to use the other bathroom if she has to go that bad.
Yeah, no law against it. You know, if it's the policy of the park, then they will enforce it.
Oh, sounds like I missed something crazy.
Yeah.
Yes, you did. I was actually announcing who all will be at the PDX May Day rally.
Yeah, good Lord.
I read off the whole list, man. And the fact that they're going to have... Oh, go ahead. Tim. And the fact that they're going to have free snacks and water provided, as well as ASL and Spanish language interpreters.
Oh, yeah, no perfume.
And no perfume.
And you have to use a porta potty.
Yeah, the no perfume thing kind of pissed me off because it's more...
That sounds
allergy safe space stuff.
Yeah.
Well, you know, just tell them don't bathe in the shit.
Well,
we're not in the medieval times anymore. We have access to showers.
Well, Tara, you haven't been on some of the Oregon mass transit with these pot smokers that are so loaded with patchouli to hide the pot.
No, I've been on the RTS transit here in Florida with the ghetto bitches that bathe in 5 different perfumes and make my sinuses go haywire and give me a fucking migraine.
I saw some of them in Atlanta. I know what you're talking about.
So I do know what they're trying to say. But that's when you're like, if you smell like you bathed in it, you can't come.
And of course, the glitter block, which is self-identified disabled folks.
I'm self-identified. I'll shoot you.
Self-identified disabled? That makes no sense.
Yes.
No other crap ever does.
Does that mean if I moved out to Oregon, I could get disability?
Probably.
Well, fuck.
Do you really want to live on disability, though?
Yes. Yes, because I am fucking crazy. That story I told about the old lady, yes, I would have whooped her ass if she had hurt my nephew.
You don't sound crazy to me, Tara. You sound a little wound up. That's it.
No, Six and Burnside can tell you. I've told other stories.
Anyhow, our chat is turning into a quagmire of timeouts and shit. So I don't know, Burnside, if you still want to keep on streaming, that's up to you. I got to jump out here. I guess I'm going to give my outro. I don't know what Burnside's up to right now, but I'm, of course, the Next 6 Minutes. You can find me on the Next 6 Minutes channel. I also have the next live streams. We're going to be doing a lot of restructuring to Chaos 120 over the next couple of weeks. We're bringing new people in and so on and so forth. Scoobie and I are going to be taking care of that. Anyhow, thank you all in chat for showing up and listening to the stream. I'm sorry that a bunch of people showed up and had to have put in time out and so on and so forth. And I certainly enjoyed streaming with you, Veteran Mountain Man. You have a great evening as well as you, Tara. And whenever Burnside gets back, let him know that I wished him a good evening as well.
It was fun, Six. Thank you.
You guys take it easy, and I will see you all later. Chatelet.
Chatelet.
What's with the Chatelet? I don't understand it.
It's a Kekistani thing, Tara.
I don't pay attention to that shit.
Yeah, it's just kind of a Kekistani saying. The Kekistani song is Chatelet. Well, I'm Kekistani.
Okay, explain what that is.
Okay, so the Kekistan concept was a kind of an internet intersectional joke that a group of people started identifying as Kekistani in order to use that to kind of play back on the whole oppression politics concept. And so it spawned, you know, the new worship of Kek and the Pepe memes and the reeing and all of that. And it's just kind of evolved from there.
Do you mean devolved?
Evolved. Chaos exists, and chaos is what it is, and everything is an evolution of chaos.
Well, yeah, everything is an evolution of chaos. Without chaos, there can't be order. Without order, there can't be chaos.
Exactly. So everything is an evolution of chaos, and everything is an evolution of order. And Kek is a god of chaos.
Okay.
In fact, he's an old god of chaos. He was the ancient Egyptian god of chaos. But there's actually a push to have Kekistani put as an official ethnicity in Britain on the next British census. And there's a group pushing for it here in the U.S. too, but it's a little more difficult to get it put on here in the U.S.
Yeah.
And of course, there are the Project Kekistan projects and the free speech projects that kind of go hand in hand a lot of times. So how have you been live streaming with these guys and not known what Kekistan projects were? I mean, I know Burnside's doing a whole film set on them, and I
never asked.
You never asked?
I never asked. I thought it was just some made up bullshit.
Well, it is made up bullshit. It's just reusing it to kind of.
So I figured, you know, it's just like, you know, I'll eventually figure it out. I'll eventually look it up, or I'll ask somebody.
Well. Did I explain it clear enough to you?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't give it. You know, I'm not one of those. I'm just a crazy chick that likes to live stream. It's very therapeutic for me, so that's why I do it.
I can see that. It's probably good to get those rants off and feel better about it.
Yes. Right now, it's the closest thing I have to, you know, putting on my own channel, because I add it to a playlist called Other Streams.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and head on out. So everybody in the chat, y'all have a good night. This is Veteran Mountain Man. You can catch me at Minds, Twitter, Gab, and of course here on YouTube at my own channel. I'm even at Speak Out. Y'all have a nice night, and don't forget, be prepared. See you later, Tara.
See you later. Okay, chat, since I'm the only one here right now, being as either Burnside has timed out or something, if you want to ask a question, I'll tell you. If it's too personal, I'll tell you. You can't join the chat because I'm waiting for Burnside to come back and close it out. Okay, ask the question. I'm waiting. Well, ask your damn question. No, I am not an extremist keck. I don't know if Bobby is related to Frank. I'm no longer in school. I'm 36 years old, so no, I'm not in school. It's okay, Ryder. I told him to ask questions. It's their choice if they want to ask dumb fuck questions. Then what the fuck are you doing up at this hour? Go to bed. Yes, Ryder, I am. Let's see, I'm 9 years older than Burnside. Oh, me go to bed? Aw, that is so adult to say. I'm not going to bed yet. I gotta talk to my Mr. B. Menopause. Okay. Yeah, menopause isn't happening for a good while for me. Thank you very much. Oh, you're just a baby. I have no idea how you forgot your age, Ryder, but I do it all the time. No, it's not termites, it's crickets. Chirp, 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 chirp. I'm trying to contact Burnside. I had said I don't know how you forgot your age, but I do it all the time. Oh, I hope it works that way, Ryder. I'll be right back, guys. Yes, I'm here. Then drag them there, Ryder. Burnside's muted, and I've tried messaging him. I left the hangout, tried calling him, and Veteran had to get going. 6, I know you're busy, but could you come back and help me? Six, I'm all alone. Ryder, just keep timing them out. Eventually, they'll leave. Thank you, 6. I can't, Ryder. I haven't figured out how to do that. Okay, so I guess for now we'll see what news is on my Facebook. I have some friends that make decent posts. Let's see here. Ooh, who's there?
That would be me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
What the hell's going on here?
I don't know. Burnside's muted. I tried calling him on what I think is his phone number. I tried calling him on Discord. I've shouted for him. And Veteran had to leave. So I've been sitting here for maybe 10 minutes or so by myself.
Really?
Yeah.
What is Burnside up to? Did he
I
say
have no
anything before he
clue.
took off?
No, he did not. And he took off before both you and Veteran.
Has he assumed that we're just kind of talking amongst ourselves?
I guess so.
Yeah, never make that assumption.
His Discord is orange.
Yeah, never make that assumption. Anyhow, I guess we'll talk here for a little while. My chicken is cooking.
Thank you so much.
You're about to hear a very loud alarm on my microwave.
That's fine. I'm trying to find some interesting stuff on my Facebook to talk about. A friend of mine has some interesting stuff, so.
We have more chaos news I could read.
That works. I also sent you some not too long ago from my area.
Now there's the chicken. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I just need to get out of the oven, let it cool down.
Oh my aunt's cat are adjusting well.
What's that?
My kitten and my aunt's cat are adjusting quite well to each other, and there's a picture of my kitten laying on my uncle's lap.
Huh.
She is so adorable.
Well, let's see. What did I not read tonight? No, Ajax, I didn't bring enough for anyone. It's all mine. All mine. All mine. Okay, let's see. Oh boy. Well, Colleen Bernier, this is certainly an interesting one here. Let's see if it will load without giving me ads. Woman finds unusual use for Vagisil, and it's even inspired a beauty product. Well, I hope it's a much better use than what Eric Cartman was using it for, to make himself dumber so he could drive a NASCAR real fast. I don't know if anybody's remembers that episode. He was eating it, yes.
Well, see, usually when I quote unquote watch TV, I'm usually playing a game while I listen to it for the most part, unlike it really interests me.
Okay, let's see. What do you reach for first thing as part of your morning beautification routine? Soap and water, fancy potions and lotions, Vagisil. It may be the last thing on earth you consider to admit using, but Vagisil is not just go away ad, go away. It's not a suggestion, go away now. I clicked your X, you have to go away. No, fuck you.
Having some issues there, Six?
Yeah. Stupid Mirror UK site. Anyway, Vagisil is not just a one-trick pony. The over-the-counter cream vaginal itching and irritation has another handy use, which one beauty expert swears by. The question is, could you be convinced to use it? As the creator and founder of Huda Beauty, a cosmetics expert, Huda Katan knows her stuff and isn't afraid to experiment to get the perfect product. Huda tried Vagisil External Hydrating Gel on in 2016 for a YouTube video, and it went on to inspire her Huda Beauty Complexion Perfection Pre-Makeup Base, which is a primer from her line. The side which the Vagisil actually feels so great, and my makeup looks so great too. Everything is sitting there very well, she explained in the video. The Vagisil worked really well. I feel like my makeup is sitting really well. It's hydrated and also feels like it's controlling the oil. Where the luxury primer and Vagisil overlap is in the use of the ingredient dimethicone. Dimethicone? Is that how you pronounce it? Dimethicone?
I have no clue.
Anyhow. Also found in Vagisil, when combined with spherical powders, the product visually blurs fine lines and pores and smooths skin, which you have to admit sounds quite nice. Unlike Vagisil, however, the primer also contains rosehip oils, which will set you back 27 pounds and is definitely not designed for your nether regions. So don't put this on your cooch cookie.
Cooch cookie?
Cooch cookie.
I just call it a cookie.
Well, I have a different name for it. Cooch cookie. All right. Let's see. Moving on.
At least you don't call it like SDA.
She calls it a smosh cookie or something weird like that, right?
No, snooch-a-doodle.
Snoot what?
Snooch-a-doodle.
That sounds too much like a snickerdoodle, which is actually a very nice cookie that I enjoy very much. And when I eat it, I don't want to think of that. Anyhow, speaking of vaginal canals, woman gives birth at the Florida State Fair with the help of deputies. A woman gave birth to a baby girl while at the Florida State Fair Friday evening with the help of deputies. Deputies Roberto and Henry Inchinque heard a woman asking for help as her water broke about 4 p.m. They jumped into action within minutes, helped the woman's husband deliver a healthy baby girl near the expo hall in the main fairway. We tried to keep her calm, and Chinke said. We kept saying, it's coming, it's coming. At that point, her water broke in the chair she was sitting down in. She still had her pants on. We see a bulk in her pants, and we knew it was the baby. Deputies found a soft piece of ground and laid the mom down. Other deputies and vendors held up a tarp to give her privacy from the public. She delivered in the middle of hundreds of people behind a wine tent and extremely popular barbecue stand selling jumbo turkey legs. With the assistance of her husband, I pointed to him and said, do me a favor, please. Those are her pants. Can you do me a favor? Take them off. I'm not going to do that. That's your wife. Take those pants right now. That is your baby. Let's try to get that baby out right now. After safely removing her pants, deputies noticed the baby was already halfway out. Oh, well, it's a helper. It wants to help out. It didn't take long for the baby girl to make it her way into the world. I put on some gloves, and the baby came right on out, and Chinke said. He caught the baby and held her until EMS arrived. In total, 10 deputies helped with the delivery. Amazing experience to see that, Ramirez said. Ramirez has 3 young children at home. He admitted seeing a baby born at the fair was a new experience to him. My wife is going to kill me for this. I've never been in the delivery room myself. I chose not to. I've actually told my wife, have your mom go in there. When she finds out that I actually helped deliver a young woman's baby, she is going to be very upset with me, Ramirez said with a laugh. The mother was taken to St. Joseph's Women's Hospital, and she and the baby are in stable condition. Well, all's well that ends well.
Well,
and
that
any
baby would
land,
come out.
yeah. Any landing that you can walk away from is a good one. Okay, here's an interesting fellow. You familiar with Deltona?
Yeah. Been through there a few times.
Okay. So this next story, if this page should decide to load without too much trouble. This is the problem with these news sites. They have too many damn ads and too many damn links that they need to actually get loaded up, and that bogs down the works. It really does. Anyhow, a man suspected of stealing toilet plumbing from public restrooms across DeBerry was arrested after he was caught selling the brass fixtures to a Sanford metal recycler, deputies said. Douglas Garner, 36, of Deltona, was charged Thursday with 2 counts each of dealing in stolen property and narcotics possession. He's also charged with additional counts of possession of drug paraphernalia and driving with a suspended license. He is being held at the Volusia County Branch Jail on a $35,000 bail. 3 times in January, Volusia County Sheriff's deputies responded to parks in DeBerry after receiving reports of stolen bathroom plumbing, agency spokesman Andrew Gantz said. In all, 16 brass plumbing fixtures were stolen from toilets and urinals at Lake Monroe Park and DeBerry Splash Pad, according to Sheriff's Office. Gantz said the total loss was about $3,600. Deputies contacted a recycler in Sanford and learned that Garner had 7 transactions in January involving brass toilet fixtures at that business, according to the sheriff's office. Fingerprints taken of the protruding pipes at Lake Monroe Park were matched to Garner, Gantz said. Garner was only charged in the Lake Monroe Park cases. Additional charges related to the buried splash pad are forthcoming, deputies said. Well, he needed his.
I used to live in Sanford, so I know the area.
Yeah, this guy, he needed his fix, so he took the fixtures to get the fix. Seems fitting, like the brass fittings that he took. There we go. Okay, well, that's being that it is, of course, Black Appreciation Month or Black History Month or whatever. We have something of a black story, a Black Panther story. Whoever the hell Titus O'Neil is, to take more than 2,000 kids to see Marvel's Black Panther.
Woohoo!
And he is a black guy. And I hope that not all the children that he's bringing are going to be black, because that would be racist. As part of the hashtag Black Panther Challenge, a social media initiative aiming at bringing children of color, to see the theater to the theater to see Marvel's Black Panther. Titus O'Neil is taking more than 2,000 kids to watch the iconic King of Wakanda in action on the big screen for free. Oh my gosh. I never saw a superhero that looked like me on television growing up, O'Neil told WFLA News Channel 8 in Tampa. I guess he never saw Spawn. I guess he never saw Blade or Steel or Blank Man or Meteor Man. Yeah.
There are a ton of them.
There are a ton of. There's even more than that, and that I haven't mentioned. But yeah, there was a lot of them. Yeah, they existed. You just just willful deniability, I suppose. Anyhow, so for Marvel did this for the first time it's ever been done. Really, first time there's ever been a black superhero lead? I don't think so. Where it's an all minority cast is a historic event. First time it's ever been done. All minority cast. Son of a bitch. I guess he's never seen a Bollywood film. Or he's never seen a film from Mexico. Or there's even films made in the U.S. that were... he's never saw Apocalypto. All minority cast. I don't know. Very selective. Very selective.
You went completely silent. I thought Burnside had come back and killed the stream.
Just yesterday, O'Neil added 750 kids to his total, and this was before he was honored by the Tampa chapter of the NAACP for his tireless work in the community. Well, that's a feel-good story. If you don't count the glaring factual errors and the obvious virtue signaling with the bringing children of color to a theater to see a superhero movie. Anyhow, moving on. Interesting. This might fan the flames that have already been fanned for you there, Tara. Okay. Stranger accused of spanking man's son in Georgia store.
Okay. Question is why did he do it?
We're about to find out. Police say a stranger spanked a man's 2-year-old son at a grocery store in Georgia when the toddler kept asking his dad for a candy bar. A Noonan police report says 62-year-old Juan Martinez was arrested Tuesday night. Police say Martinez smelled like alcohol and slurred his speech. The 2-year-old's father, James Morris, tells the Noonan Times-Herald his son was asking him for a candy bar in the store's checkout line when Martinez slapped his son's hand and bottom, Morris said. His son was not hurt. Police say Martinez was arrested on charges including battery and obstruction. News outlets reported Tuesday that police body camera shows officers struggling to arrest Martinez. Martinez is jailed on a $3,390 bond. It's unclear if he has a lawyer. Well,
now, the only child, well, there's several, but they were in my care that I struck with, first one was my oldest goddaughter, and she was nagging for a toy when I was there to buy her clothes. So yeah, she got swatted on the butt 3 times.
But it wasn't.
That was,
Yeah,
you know,
you weren't a complete stranger to this kid.
No, I watched that child being born. That's my kid. Even her mother to this day will tell you, no, that's Tara's kid.
Yeah. Well, here's a good rule for everybody to live by. I don't care what somebody else's kid does in public. You don't touch them.
Well, I've been at a grocery store and literally had a kid end up ripping my skirt because the kid just thought that they were just going to sit there and tug on it. And I told the parent like 4 times, make them stop. And I whirled around when I heard that rip and I told them, if you don't whoop their ass right now, I will. They left their grocery cart and left the store.
Yeah. You gotta, you really, if you insist on taking your children into public, then you're responsible for what they're doing, and you have to be responsible for curbing their behavior.
Exactly.
I know that there are some kids that they're on the spectrum, and that shit is hard to deal with. And I do sympathize with parents in that position, but even so, it's the challenge is there. But yeah, sometimes life isn't fair, and if the kid breaks something or damages somebody's property or injures somebody, then that's on you. And it sucks that happens, but it's on you. And anyhow, unruly children in public aside, machete-wielding Florida man fatally shot by police. I guess he was trying to do his Jason Voorhees impression. Anyhow, a Florida man has been... What's that?
So it's not Halloween or Friday the 13th. He needs to fuck off.
Yeah. This apparently happened on the 11th of February, not the 13th. Let's see. A Florida man has been fatally shot by police after he allegedly threatened a relative with a machete. The Tampa Police Department said it in a news release that 48-year-old Sidney T. Richardson IV was shot by one officer Saturday night after he refused to drop the machete. Officers first tried to subdue him with a taser, but it was ineffective. Police were responding to a call that Richardson had threatened relatives. Officers found him with his 17-year-old cousin in a room at his residence. She was not injured, but police say they feared for her safety. Authorities say the officers have been placed on paid administrative leave while the shooting is investigated. Well, if you're going to threaten your relatives with a machete, shit's going to happen. If you refuse to drop the machete when you're ordered to, shit's going to happen. If you're shot by a taser and still don't drop the damn machete, shit's going to happen. In order for shit to not happen, don't pick up the machete. Don't threaten your relative. And when the cops come, just slow your roll. Anyhow, he was not, I guess he didn't make the cut. Oh boy, let's see. What else do we got here? Okay. Ryder has sent us one. Something about naked Shakespeare. Oh, interesting. This naked Hamlet is definitely a controversial Shakespeare in the park. Okay. What a work! What a piece of work man is. Work is man indeed. To bear or not to bear is, oh, come on. Shakespeare puns isn't the question. It's the whole, son of a bitch. It's the whole conceit of nude all-male outdoor Hamlet beginning August 10th in Brooklyn. The show is based braced for its own slings and arrows in the wake of public theater's controversial Donald Trump-inspired Julius Caesar. The upcoming Shakespeare tragedy is by Torn Out Theater, which last year produced a nude all-female Tempest. The company spokesman said Hamlet is made to be explored via nudity. I don't think that's contextually what Shakespeare was trying to get across. I don't believe, but whatever. You know, it's your play, your actors, and you do whatever the hell you want. Hamlet is the story of a man in search of the truth. General Manager Diana Levy told the Daily News he's defying society and its hypocrisy. In a world filled with lies, being naked may be the only way to be honest. I suppose. If not to put fannies in the seats, after all, tickets are free during the show's August 10th through 13th run at the Music Pagoda in Prospect Park. The company notes on its website that using a select amount of full nudity raises questions about how the male body is perceived in America today. People have a lot of hang-ups about men's bodies, said Levy. We support the right of the public theater to tell important stories and to push boundaries through art, said Levy. The theater has always been a powerful vehicle for how we look at the world. Nudity is a powerful way to get audiences to pay attention. So is acting ability, but I digress. It's also legal. Parkgoers can't doff their duds in public, but state penal code allows nudity during performances. The actors can't be naked during rehearsals, said Levy. That includes Jake Austin Robertson, a 2015 Princeton grad from Illinois who lives in Manhattan and stars as Hamlet. Compared to the enormity of the role, being nude on stage is small potatoes, the 24-year-old actor told the news. Nonetheless, I'd be lying if I said I'm not nervous. Upon being offered the part, I was cautious about the role of nudity, or let's say nakedness, which I think holds deeper significance in the play. You're also vulnerable to mosquitoes, which I imagine there are a lot of in New York in August. But, you know, there's off spray. Unless you're in a some kind of thing in Oregon where you're not allowed to wear perfume because triggering and allergy safe spaces.
Hashtag don't bathe in the shit.
True enough. Robertson regards the pomp and regalia of his character's throne-stealing uncle as a mask for depravity and deceit. So I hope that audiences will push past the shock of nakedness on stage and see what it tells us about Hamlet. He's up for the task of being emotionally and physically exposed. The point of this project is to be comfortable with who I am, said Robertson. But yeah, I've added a few extra push-ups and crunches to my daily routine. Okay. Do we have an update on Burnside?
No.
He still has his damn thing muted.
I wonder if he fell asleep.
You know what? That's...
It still says he's yellow. I mean, he hasn't had but like maybe an hour or so sleep since he got home from work last night.
You know what? I'm kind of sure that he probably did fall asleep. I'm going to message him again. Burnside.
Either that or his roommates and him are doing something. But I think he fell asleep.
I think he fell asleep too.
He's gonna end up having an Irving video where he's streaming and he's asleep.
Yep. Yep, yep. That's certainly a very distinct possibility. So,
yeah.
Look, I only jumped back in here to to help you out here. Um, yeah, I don't know exactly what to do here, other than
Yeah. I'm almost to the point of saying, let's just fucking leave.
yeah, he's gonna have to deal with it then. It's gonna shut off after.
I have to get up at 6 to take Katrina to work and her son to school.
Yeah.
Then I have to come back here and more or less just doze, waiting for the AC unit man.
Ajax said he just called him, no answer. So Burnside's asleep. He fell asleep. He probably, he may even had the intention of coming back. But he probably laid down, to quote unquote rest his eyes for a bit and then come back, and he's fallen asleep. So yeah, he's asleep.
Ajax, if you have his phone number, can you Discord it to me, please? I have 2 numbers he supposedly gave me, but
It's a distinct possibility that he has it on vibrate.
yeah.
So even if he did call, it's like there's a good possibility that you won't be able to get through. But
Well, one of the numbers I called, it was working again, and it rang and rang until it hit voicemail. So
Ajax says that it's the 312 number.
I have 2 different 312s. I need to know at least the last 4 digits.
Yeah, Ajax, go ahead and if you can, Discord Tara the last 4 digits of the number that she needs to call him up. I imagine if it's called enough times in a row, the vibrating will actually wake him up. But I don't know. That depends. If the phone's not in the same room that he's in, then. So essentially, what we're the working theory we have right now is that Burnside fell asleep. He probably didn't mean to fall asleep, but given that he was as tired as he was when the stream actually began, he probably fell asleep. He's probably asleep in a chair, or he decided to lay down for a minute to quote unquote rest his eyes. But no, he's probably asleep. And he's asleep and he doesn't know it. He probably won't know it until he wakes up again.
Yeah, probably not. This is ridiculous. He should have been, he should have been like, okay, we're going to kill the chat now. Bye.
Yeah. Call him up if you want to, Tara. But my chicken's getting cold here.
Okay. Yeah, I'm leaving this thing too.
Alrighty. Well, you take it easy, and I'll see you. I guess I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Bye.
Take it easy, chat. You have a good one. Okay.